Hello Pisces, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Pisces is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, doesn't cost anything. If there's something you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Pisces, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And here is I look at this is the High Priestess. I kind of look at this as your kind of, your counterpart card, because Pisces, your card is typically the moon, right? The moon card of the tarot, the 18th mystery of the tarot. But this also represents the moon, but this represents the full moon, right? So I feel like this is your psychic sense now fully activated, fully in this kind of confirming energy from Spirit, okay? So I feel like you're kind of getting like a really big thumbs up here with this card. I also think that there is a lot right now that you don't know about something, but it's going to be revealed to you as you continue making progress. It's kind of like Spirit's got you on this need-to-know basis, right? The further along you get, the more you need to know. More things are going to be opened up, more things are going to be revealed to you. Okay, but we need some clarity with that card, right? We need some context. Let's see what else we've got. Go, Ace of Cups. Yeah, okay. I'll take that. Especially if we're kind of feeling an Eight of Cups situation now. The Ace of Cups, well, what does that give us? It gives us a Nine of Cups, right? We're taking this situation that I almost used an SH word there. We're taking this rather... what's a replacement word for that expletive? We're taking a rather unfortunate kind of situation, or rather undesirable feeling that we have, and we're getting this kind of we're getting this confirmation that this, whatever you're working toward, it's and an Ace of Swords too. This is going to be really good. Okay, I kind of feel like Spirit's telling you this is worth the risk, right? What you're doing now is definitely going to improve this Eight of Cups and bring us that Nine of Cups, that happiness, right? Nine of Cups is that card of happiness. Now we have the Empress. We have a Five of Cups, which I think in this case the Five of Cups is good, because in order to make room for all of this all of these aces and this Empress energy, to make room for this joy, beauty, love, success, right? This divine energy with the Ace. I was just talking to my wife about the Ace of Cups this morning. In order to make room for this divine experience of life, this spiritual experience, we have to clear out some of this Eight of Cups stuff. So I like the Five because it's showing movement. The Eight is kind of that swamp. It's that stagnant place that we all sometimes get into. And the Five now is us moving away from this, moving out of this. We've got the Fool, we've got the Queen of Wands, a Three of Wands, and Two of Pentacles. Yeah, good. I'm glad we got some earth energy here at the end, right? To show that all of this is well and good, but you got to take the risk. You got to move. You got to do the work. You've got to take those proactive steps here on the manifested plane. The rest of this stuff is kind of internal. It's more mental, emotional. It's very spiritual. All of these energies have to result in you making positive changes in your life. So in a very real way, this is Spirit saying, hey, it's worth it, right? All of this is really saying, yes, you should do this thing. So I think Spirit's saying it's worth the risk, whatever this is. All right, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is a factor, infinite and unknown. And it's going to go right here. Tiny Bob Ross is going to help us out today. We all love Tiny Bob Ross. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, all right? But it will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we're looking for. If at any point during this program you feel like you know what that card might be, let's make it interactive. Let's venture a guess. Let's put that prediction, that hunch down in the comments. Let's see how we do, right? You're here, might as well put you to work. Let's take a look around at the major arcana. We have some very lovely majors today. We start with that High Priestess, and we have, of course, the Empress. That is the ideal life that we're looking for. And it's with a High Priestess here, you see the arms are outstretched. There's this attitude of reception. It's kind of like we're saying, yes, Spirit, I'm ready for the best life. I'm ready to embrace this Empress energy. And the Empress, I think, in this case is really your ideal living situation, your ideal life. Like just that perfect day, that perfect situation for you, right? It's kind of what I call the paradise or the land of milk and honey. This is kind of our own personal utopia where this is my paradise. This is where I want to be. You know, I'm ready to start living this life that is truly meant for me, and that special with the Empress card, there is the acknowledgement that the more we contribute, the more we will benefit from life, from our work, from this environment, right? This is that energy that says if you nurture it and take care of it, it's going to nurture and take care of you. So it really requires us to put forth the effort, right? This is also a card of a maternal kind of energy, okay? So I don't know if some of you are kind of embracing motherhood in a way, maybe not literally, but in this sense of, taking on the role of a caregiver to someone, even a caregiver of ourselves, of our own lives, right? Kind of taking on this very particular attitude of nurturing things, caring for things. This could literally be a lot of things. We're nurturing our own bodies and minds and hearts. We're nurturing, maybe there's a garden, right? Maybe there are literally other people, family members, children, or grandparents, parents, or something that we're taking care of. But I think in a very general way, this is saying, look, this is my life, and I know how fragile life can be. So I'm really putting in this kind of careful energy. I almost wish we had an 8 of Pentacles, but maybe we're not there yet. I'm putting in this very careful energy to maintain this. I want it to thrive. I want it to grow. And so we're not being careless or reckless with it, right? We're cherishing something. Okay? We've got a little baby chick in our hands, and we've got to be very careful with it, right? And so I think a lot of you are doing something with animals. I'm getting like kind of a strong animal vibe here. But it's a caregiver kind of energy that I'm feeling with a lot of you. Yeah. So we've got our majors, and we have the Fool over here in the environment. The Fool is kind of saying, just do it, right? Especially surrounded by this fire energy. The Fool is just like, this is you just kind of ready to go. You're taking that leap. You're taking the risk. And Spirit's saying, it's worth it, right? When we're here in the mud like this with this Eight of Cups, it's kind of saying, look, I know I can't stay here. So I'm ready to do that big, bold thing to get out of this situation. Spirit's saying, yeah, you've got it. You're ready, right? This is the green light. This is the thumbs up. It's going to be well worth the risk. The Fool is the risk taker, right? The Fool is the one that is not necessarily a risk taker intentionally. The Fool doesn't go around kind of thinking ahead and thinking, okay, if I do this kind of scary thing now, maybe it's going to lead me to someplace even more amazing, right? Maybe it's going to lead me to my Empress life, right? The Fool doesn't think that way. The Fool doesn't really think at all. The Fool is emptiness, right? The Fool is very wu-wei, very empty-minded, in a good way, in the way of not overthinking things, not trying to plan everything, not worrying about every little thing, not talking myself out of doing this really big thing in my life, right? The Fool is that energy that just stumbles, around wherever the universe kind of takes it, right? But we've got some intentionality surrounding it. We have clarity and thoughtfulness here with the Ace. So the Fool has all the support it needs. This is that flying leap off a cliff, right? But you're supported by spirit, by your mind, by your heart, right? By your willpower, by your intentions here. This spiritual energy is all over the place supporting this foolishness, right? So very good major arcana. We have, of course, our fire. We have a lot of water, which is a big component here. We have very little air and very little earth. So it's kind of, it's a situation here where you, with the Ace of Swords, it's in the background position. I feel like you've made up your mind that wherever you are right now, you can't stay there. Okay? And whether we're talking philosophically in life, you know, I can't stay where I'm at in life generally. Or if it's something particular, a job, a relationship, an environment, whatever. I think you have that clarity of mind. You're not trying to think about it or figure it out anymore. You've come to that conclusion. I don't know where I'm going, can't stay here, right? But there's a certain peacefulness in that, you know. There's a certain, now I'm not worried about it. Now I feel almost light and free. You know, when we're really kind of weighed down with all this thought and all this figuring and all of this complexity, it feels very draining. It feels very heavy. We feel like we're in all these swords energies. I'm thankful this is the only sword we have, because this is a decision that's been made. This is a clarity. This is a peacefulness. We're kind of zen about it. Be like, I don't know where I'm going, but I can't stay here. That is really a very freeing thing, right? And then from here, I think we're able to embrace more of this air energy with the Fool and not make it so complex. It's really a matter of either you do or you don't. And I think Spirit is really coming through with this kind of urgent message that just says it's worth the risk. Like this is, maybe you don't need the encouragement. Maybe you've already, like I said, decided that I've got to do something. I can't stay here, because what we've got here is the Eight of Cups, the almost a hopelessness. It's almost a feeling of complete despair. I say almost because I feel like we're sinking down. I feel like the cups here are losing their water. That divine energy, that love, that satisfaction, that sense of community, connection, that sense of purpose. I feel like a lot of that water is kind of draining out. Right? That for whatever reason, the situation that you're in right now in life feels, now I don't know, you know, and I'm saying feels specifically. It feels as if it's losing its meaning, or it's losing its holiness. That's the word I'm hearing. It's losing its, almost like spirit, it no longer dwells in this, you know, this building, right? So I feel as if you're not having the same kind of experience with your life as you once did. That kind of spiritual experience, right? That feeling of maybe gratitude and appreciation, it's getting harder to really find things to really be thankful for right now, okay? And I don't know how accurate that is, because to me, it's a feeling. It's a sinking feeling, like I got to do something because I can feel myself kind of getting deeper into this mud. The deeper we get, the harder it's going to be to get out, okay? And this could be a mental, emotional state. It could be literally something in the environment, something in the workplace that just feels like I'm getting more entrenched in this job, in this company. I better, like the longer I stay here, the less likely it's going to be that I'll ever go and do what I really want to do, right? The longer we stay in a life that is, it feels like the love is kind of draining away, and maybe that's my interpretation, but it feels like that water energy is kind of draining away. The longer we stay there, the more acclimated we'll get to that kind of life, right? And the more difficult change will be, okay? But we see now that you are open, you are embracing the change, that you are ready for this new kind of adventure. You're ready to get this stagnant water moving, right? It's kind of, we got this little kiddie pool outside of our house, you know, that's been sitting there, and there's still water in it from last summer. Now all the mosquitoes are there. And it's just, we got to take the hose to it. We got to dump the water out. We got to hose it off. We've got to just get some fresh water going, right? Stagnant water, it really does attract like all of this, these kinds of unwanted things. And And yes, that's actually literally true. That we do have a little. It's a pink, one of those plastic swimming pools that my daughter was using last year. But anyway, we did hose it out and we got rid of the water and everything's fine. But to me, it feels like the movement that we need. 5 of Cups here. It's not always going to be pleasant. It's not always well. How do we clear out the bad energy? We just fill it up with good energy, right? All we need, I just need happy things. I just have to surround myself with pleasures. I have to satisfy all of my desires right now in the moment, and then I'll forget all about this thing. Well, that's not exactly what it is. See, the 5 of Cups is those waves of emotion. It's not just pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. It's the difficulty of maybe having to move on from a life that we've been comfortable with. The Fool, we say the Fool is empty, right? But the Fool is surrounded by all of these cards. So the Fool, while ready to take this flying leap off a cliff, this blind faith, just this jump into the unknown, there is kind of this, there's a lot of feelings there. Okay? And it's kind of a mixed blessing even. There's two sides of this, because we're excited to go toward what is new. We're excited for this Ace of Cups, the get back to the source and really kind of be able to have the kind of experience and the kind of life that we want. We want our Empress energy up here. But we're very comfortable here. We've been here for a little while. So it takes an effort to move out of what's comfortable. And the 5 of Cups is that movement. Now, I think in whatever we're talking about here, and I don't know the exact details, there are reasons why it kind of is it's kind of a somber moment to move on, right? There's somebody there that you're connected with, or there's something familiar about it that's going to be a little sad, right? It's going to require strength for you to break that connection with the current situation. Right. And again, Spirit's saying it's worth it. It's worth the risk. It's worth the jump. It's worth the effort. But I think part of it is that we're feeling this now. I don't think it's an intellectual kind of reasoning, but I think we're kind of feeling a little bit of, I don't want to say fear, a little bit of trepidation, because what if I take this risk and I make this leap and I feel worse? What if I'm disappointed? What if it doesn't work out? What if I should have just stayed here and said, hey, this ain't so bad, right? What if the future is worse than what we're moving away from? And again, I don't think this is an intellectual process for you. I think it's just kind of something that we just, in our gut, there's that feeling, and it's just like, I know I can't stay here. At the same time, I'm nervous about the future because, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. What if I get that 5 of Cups too much? What if I have regret? What if I have disappointment? All that sort of stuff. I think that's being kind of counteracted by the major arcana and this Ace of Cups, right? The Ace of Cups, I think, is the opportunity for you to kind of to turn the tap on to that hose, to that water energy, and really get things flowing again. It's the opportunity to begin again with this connection with the universe. I feel as if there is this this life, available to you where we can find the divine in everything, where we can appreciate everything, just from a gentle breeze to a mosquito bite or whatever in the summertime when we're at the beach or something, or I don't know, the lake or wherever mosquitoes live. That we can have this gratitude and this appreciation for life that I think is brought to us by our connection with the divine, for one thing. It also strengthens our connection with the divine. So I feel as well with the Ace of Cups that this is the beginning of a new relationship between you and life, right? You and spirit, you and everything. I also, in connection with the Empress energy, wonder if the Ace is kind of a new addition to the family, okay? I wonder if somebody, either you or somebody close to you is having a child. I kind of feel that energy, and I got that vibe a few minutes ago with that Empress, right? That kind of maternal energy, that caregiver kind of energy. So that's going on somewhere in your life, I'm pretty sure. But the High Priestess is ready to embrace this, ready to embrace this love, this bond, this connection with all of life, right? And, I think that you already have that, and that's kind of the key component here. You already are that. You already have that. But we can't feel it when we're kind of, we're stuck in this feeling, this state, right? And I sometimes call this card the state of despair. Right? The state of despair. It's an 8. It's an even number. It represents a structure, a form, something that we are in, right? Not something that we are doing. There's no movement there. It's a noun, not a verb. But what we see here, ace, 5, 3, these are all verb states, right? These are all action cards. And yeah, it's the action, the movement of the water energy, pleasure and pain, good and bad, joy and sorrow, all of that stuff. And I think maybe it's some of that contrast that we need as well. But I think that there's the decision to do something new, to take this big risk and embrace this kind of new life. Now, I don't know if this is literally you kind of moving somewhere or starting a new job or a new relationship, or if it's just a new attitude, or if it's just a new kind of, a new relationship with the universe, right? It's something big, and it's something that really has the potential to change your life for the better, long term, but you're kind of feeling that riskiness about it, right? You're feeling that 5 of Cups a little bit, like I said. The risk is very great here, but the reward is very, very great, okay? And I think Spirit is saying, yeah, it's going to be worth it. What you're gaining from this is definitely worth the risk of kind of either arriving back at the 8 of Cups or kind of getting into a new 8 of Cups kind of situation. It really comes back to that Ace of Swords that says, I don't know where I'm going. I just know I cannot stay here. Right? And so we're opening up our heart, we're embracing life, and, we're going after that Empress life, that paradise. Going to the path of the Serpent here, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Okay, the Queen of Wands here. This is taking this Ace of Cups. We've opened up our heart now, right? And we are ready to see where this energy takes us, to see where this love goes, how it manifests. See, the Ace of Cups is unmanifest. This is the absolute source of all love, right? And the way this expands and unfolds, it becomes a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, 7, 8, 9, all the cups, right? And all those different cups are the way in which love, the water energy, the way that it manifests in our life. And right now, it's just a seed of love. It's just this potential, and it's going to grow into all sorts of things. It's going to be romantic, platonic. It's going to be business relationships. It's going to be your compassion, your intuition. It's going to be your relationship with the divine. It's going to be that maternal energy. It's going to be this nurturing relationship with nature and with the earth, and it's everything. Okay, everything. But as of yet, we don't know how it's going to unfold. Right now, it's just an ace. Right? You know that it's there, it's here, you have it, it's all around you, it is what we're made of. But we don't know exactly how it's going to unfold. Okay? So what we're doing is we're taking that ace within us and we're putting on this robe of fire, right? That we're just we're boldly going forward. That we are asserting ourselves out into the world. We have this intention now. We have this kind of purpose behind us, and that is to really manifest this seed of love, this spiritual seed that we have in ourselves. We call it a divine spark, whatever you want. To shine this divine light that we are. So we put on this confidence, this assertiveness, this driving force, right? It's this striving out into the world. We're not resting in this passive state, the state of despair or hopelessness or pessimism. Now we are taking our potential and we're extending ourselves out to the world. We're putting our efforts forward, right? It's an active energy. It's a striving, right? I wonder if the mystery card is going to be the Five of Wands. Maybe. The Fool in the position of the environment. Well, I mean, I think this is really vibing with everything we've been talking about because it's that new adventure. We're setting off on this new kind of relationship with the world. It doesn't mean you're leaving your house, right? And it's not necessarily literally like a road trip, but it's this feeling of being on this spiritual quest now, that we kind of were in search of this higher experience of life, of love, right? In whatever form it's taking place. For some of you, it might be this maternal energy, this nurturing, maybe it's a garden kind of thing, maybe it's a career thing, creative thing, a spiritual thing, a religious, path that you're on, whatever it is, right? The Fool is ready. The Fool is just free. There's almost like there's no baggage. This is the freedom that we feel when we finally get unstuck from this Eight of Cups. And suddenly we feel just light as air, right? It's kind of like an over-exaggeration of that lightness, It's kind of, you ever know, like let's say you're going to pick up an object, right? It looks really heavy. It looks like, it weighs a ton, right? It's one of those little, I don't know, an anvil kind of thing or whatever, and it says, 100 pounds on it. And you walk up to it, and you're going to try to lift it, and you realize it's light as a feather. You know that feeling? And it kind of startles you a little bit because your body is expecting this heavy thing, but then it's just so light, and it's kind of a cognitive dissonance for a moment, right? That's what I'm feeling with the Fool, that we get unstuck from that Eight of Cups, and for a minute there, it's just like pure consciousness, right? It's that cognitive dissonance where we feel like we're floating for a moment, And I think this is a really important experience for you to have, as momentary as it might be. That moment where we realize that we're starting this path, we're on it now, that we've gotten away from whatever this underlying feeling is. And this underlying feeling is just this kind of angst, almost this existential angst. Yeah. Big contrast between the Eight of Cups and the Empress, right? The Empress is the ideal life, the ideal, that's, I want to put in the work and have, and have the rewards of that work. I want to put in my best effort, and I want to show gratitude to the world, and I want to be in that kind of life, The Three of Wands in this position, this is the difficulty. I think the difficulty right now for you is just the feelings part. See, the Three of Wands is a trinity, but we know the trinity is a unity, or it's supposed to be, right? It's your will, it's your heart, it's your mind. Okay? It's that trinity that's within us, right? And I think that the difficulty is for you to have your will, your intention, let's say your body, right? Your heart and your mind to all be united into this unity, into really an Ace of Wands. Maybe that's what we need for the mystery card, right? Because right now I feel like your intention, your mind and your body, let's say, are all like ready to go. But in this heart, we've got that Five of Cups, and it's just kind of this feeling like, I don't know, what if it's worse than before? What if I fail? What if it's disappointing? What if, all these kinds of feelings. Again, I don't think it's an intellectual process of what if. It's just this feeling, right? And that's what we have to get over if we're going to take this flying leap, right? So that's why the Three of Wands is in the position of the difficulty, because it's just saying that there's one part of you still that is just not quite on board yet. And that's why I think that Spirit is really here today to say it's worth the risk. Settle your heart. Find the peace with that Ace of Cups and do it. It is worth it, right? And the Two of Pentacles, of course, is the earth energy that kind of is solidifying all of this. It's taking that next step. It's going from this to that, right? And once we get over this, once we kind of put all of our kind of fears behind us and we consolidate our efforts, we're unified within ourselves, then we're ready to take that first step. And this first step, this two of Pentacles, is what's going to give you this feeling of floating that we were talking about with the Fool. This is the first actual step. This is everything that's going into your very first step on this new path. Now let's look at that mystery card. I'm thinking an Ace or a Five of Wands. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Here we go. Oh, Knight of Pentacles. Okay. All right. I like it because this is us having that vision of the future, right? This is us kind of settling our heart in the way by, like I said, finding the unity, right? Settling, finding the peace within us to just say, okay, I'm doing it, right? To take that step. The way I think we do this, the way Spirit wants you to do this, is to think of your long-term goals. What do you want at the end of the day today? Who do you want to be at the end of the week? Who do you want to be at the end of the month, the end of the year, 5, 10, whatever, 20 years? Who do you want to be? Where do you want to be? And what do you want to be doing? Long-term, have that vision. Close your eyes and see it in your mind's eye. Feel it. Feel what that is going to feel like. Right? And you don't have to know all the details. You don't have to know, exactly where, what street, what house number, right? Or what exact job you're going to have or any of this kind of stuff. But think of the feeling. How is that going to feel to be in that Empress energy in the future, right? And allow that feeling to unfold a little. Allow that Ace to unfold in your mind a little bit. Have that vision. Start filling in some of the details, right? What does that look like to you? Right? We always say the Knight of Pentacles is staring at the 10 of Pentacles. And maybe we need a little bit of that. Maybe we need to have a vision of some of those long-term details that maybe right now aren't so clear. And those long-term details, or at least that feeling that you can kind of project into the future, that's the motivation for you to do this, because the only way you can get that is by taking that first step from this Two of Pentacles, right? So this really is the perfect mystery card, confirmation, let's say. Think of the long-term goals here. And does this have any future to it? Does this have a long-term outcome that you like? If you stay here, do you like who you're going to become? Do you like where you're going to be and what you're going to be doing? I think you've already intellectually, mentally said, no, I can't stay here, I've got to go. Now we just need that kind of in our heart and in our intention to say, yeah, I can't stay here, I'm going to go, I am going. I am in the middle of it right now, right? It's a current process. Yeah, I think that's very good. Now we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There is a link down below. New readings for Pisces every Thursday and Sunday, 6 a.m. Chicago time. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is free. Leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.